Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we help product-based businesses grow their sales and improve their strategies.
Hey everyone, I want to introduce you to my co-host and biz bestie, Minna an Amazon guru that has built a multi-six-figure product-based business.
And introducing the other half of the Product Boss, Jacqueline Snyder. She has helped launch and grow over 500 fashion apparel and accessory brands, even one of her own.
And together, we share our inventory of secret weapons that will help you dig deep and do the work it takes.
Are you ready? Let's build together.
So today is going to be a fun day. We're actually going to talk about 3 organic marketing tips that are happening or working right now, and that we're seeing this with our multi-stream machine students. We are seeing this with our masterminders. And for those of you who are not in multi-stream machine, and those of you that are not working with us in our masterminds, we want to share some of this information with you here today so that you can take it and run with it, right? We're kind of in a section of time right now that it's a very good time for product-based businesses. It's a gifting time of year. Right now is a gifting time of year, and then Q4 is a gifting time of year. So it's a time also for you to be visible and marketing to other people. So we're going to talk about the 3 marketing tips that we see working for people right now.
Organic ways. Because as
you.
you know, if you've listened to us any amount of time, we are all for organic, unless you guys prefer us to tell you paid ways, right? But we all love organic because as small businesses, we need to have organic ways of people coming in. And even if we do have paid ways, it kind of goes hand in hand. It overlaps, and you're able to make it holistically a machine that runs, right?
Absolutely. All right. So I guess from all of you watching on Facebook and Instagram, what are some marketing tactics that are working for you right now? Like, what is something that you've implemented into your business that you're like, this is working? I'm trying it. You told me to try it. I heard it on the podcast. I took it in the course, or just, out of your own realm of marketing. And what are you trying that you could then share with the community on things that are working for you right now? So as we wait for you to drop that in, one of the tips that we have right now for what's working right now, and I'm going to go simple because you probably have heard us say it before. Instagram, social media works, but you have to follow those Mark Zuckerberg crumbs, right? Where he says, where he leads you is where you go. And they have been favoring Reels probably for the last whenever it launched, 8 months ago or 10 years ago. It feels like forever.
Right. And some people still don't have it. We don't even have it on Shop One and Five. I mean, get your act together, Marky Mark,
Why don't you love us over there? Yeah, we don't have Reels.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Reels is still working. We see it working. We see it working for our students. We see you showing up in our feed. And it's still working. And it's probably the only way right now to grow organically, to reach people outside of the people who follow you, to get in front of other eyes.
On Instagram.
So I hope you all know what Reels are. And you can tell that Marky Mark wants us to go there because Mark Zuckerberg, not the other.
Yeah.
He doesn't like.
Yeah, not the amazing, beautiful, gorgeous man, Mark Wahlberg.
You were not allowed to call him Marky Mark anymore. He has said it.
Yeah. And you know what? He's earned it. Okay. Meanwhile, the Marky Mark we're referring to is Mark Zuckerberg.
You hear us, Marky Mark Zuckerberg, right? We're on both of your platforms. Also, please lower our ad costs. Okay. So Reels, what we've also seen them come out with, because Facebook is very good at basically taking ideas from other people and repurposing them for themselves. So they've done remixes on Reels, which is just like duets on TikTok. And what that
you don't need to know what duets on TikTok are if you're focusing just. If you don't know what any of this is, Google Instagram Reels, then Google Instagram Reels remix. And then you'll be you'll be on the same page as us, basically.
And actually that's, I have a reel on how to remix, but just showing you what we're saying is that if they keep putting efforts, think about the millions and gazillions of dollars that it costs for Facebook to implement and create all these things. And so they're putting their money there and because they believe in it and they want you to do it as well. So whenever you
Yeah.
see a new rollout, the quicker that you can jump onto that, the better. And this rollout has been lasting for a long time. I know we talk about Annika a lot, but Annika of Hey Mavens is very good. She has grown. She was like 10,000 followers when we started working with her. She has surpassed us. She's been
I think
creating.
she's at 50 right now. I think she's grown a lot, and she's done a ton of reels. Another person that we know is Jessica Stansberry, and she's a friend of ours, and she's service based. So this doesn't pertain as much, but I do want to say this because, she did a reels every single day. She said out of the 26, and this is a lot of reels. 26 reels is a lot. Only 4 of them gained over a certain amount of traction. Now, that isn't a very high percentage when you think about it, but the fact that she was able to gain and it needed that momentum. So there's some things that work and some things don't. This is a test and try that we're talking about of, getting on that trend or what the breadcrumb that Mark Zuckerberg wants you to do.
And someone's like, oh, am I too late to try regular normal reels? No. What we're saying is that the fact that they keep rolling out new parts for reels means it's doing well and they're putting money behind it. So whatever we want you to do, and listen, we should take our own advice because we get it. Like we have not felt inspired to show up and create reels for you. You'll see us. You'll see our emotional roller coaster. You're like, oh, they're posting a lot of reels. They must be feeling like, creative. And then there'll be times where we are, in our business and working. And that happens, right? And that's why if you're able to batch reels, if you're able to batch some of this content and then, post it later, that's better than not. So Sabria wants to know any tips on making reels quickly and easily. I would tell you to go on when you're looking at reels. Do you all know you can save those reels? Like if you hit the 3 dots, you can save it and you can go back to it. And for Minna and I, the easiest reels are where we can just do a voiceover or like some sort of point or dance. We're not dancers, so some sort of point.
We don't do our own voiceover because that does take an extra step. We use the audio.
Yeah,
usually.
We use someone else's audio, but you can use your own audio as well. Like there have been times where I've spoken to it and created my own thing, or I've created my own, I've done something to music and then I'll put it. So what you can do is you can see something that's starting to go viral, save it and do your own spin on it. Right. So the one that for me got the most views recently was that one that like reasons why women can't be $1 million business. I was inspired. That one was about moms. There was one that was going viral about moms. You'll see it if you like click the audio on that. There's one that was going viral about moms. And I was like, oh, I think it was like to be a perfect mom or something like that. And I was like, oh, I'm going to flip that and use it for my business. So just thinking about that. And then another super quick tip on reels, just super quick. I know this isn't a reels part, but if you ever need to do some sort of voiceover, like not voiceover, you listen to it and you're lip syncing to it, you can actually change your reels speed to record at slow-mo. Like it's like 2x, I think, and it's slow-mo and you'll try it. And so if like they're saying, say something, Minna.
Hello. No, I did that purposely.
So if you hear the voice and like, but you slow it down and she goes, hello, you're actually able to kind of slowly say the words with it. And then when you post it, it speeds it up to normal time. And so you can tell like there's one of me with like a pink sweater with earbuds and it kind of looks a little funny. And that's because I did it to a slow-mo. So that's a really easy way to do it without having to remember all the words. For reels and for social media, it really is about real time stuff, no pun intended, but for real. It's real time stuff that's happening. That's why Mark Zuckerberg, he doesn't make it last for a long time. So this is not something where it's like, oh, it's a search engine and, you can find it later on. You can't even Google a reel, for example. So lots of things that happen on there are real time that are trending or popular or songs that are popular and they're bite-sized little bit engagement pieces. And people are, basically it's like you can't just watch one reel. And so they watch a whole bunch of reels. And that's how you get in front of other eyes. And potentially it works and potentially it doesn't. So the whole thing is that you're catching people at a certain time. And when you're doing, let's say, like how I gave the example of 26 reels and 4 catch, then that's at least something, right? So while you may try, like, I'm only going to try 5 of them, that might not be enough.
You're trying to catch people at the right timing in real time for them to binge. And that's really what social media is about, is like all these touch points of people connecting. Just imagine overall what that means. It's not people going and searching for something per se. It's that they happen upon it in a way. And they're watching one reel and then your reel pops up, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, you can save it. You might want to Google this if you don't know it. I think the three dots, you hit save and it saves it over to a place where actually, do all of you know on Instagram that there's like on the 3 hamburger lines, if you click it, it says saved, and you can have lots of saved things. So anytime you see a post or reel, you want to come back to something, you'll see when we post stuff, the little bookmark icon will say save this for later, and you click save, then you have a place to go save it. So you can save reels, all the things that you've ever wanted to remember, you can save on Instagram. But let's move on because this is not an Instagram morning for all the things.
Right.
And we don't know all the things about Instagram, so we're not able to like tell you how. Trust me, we can't get reels on Shop 1 in 5. We don't have captions. You know how people see the captions pop up like as people talk?
Yeah,
like,
I know we don't have that.
We don't have that on either account. And then I'll go over to my husband's, and my husband does. So we can, sometimes you can look around. So. Attention product-based business owners. What if you could 2x to 4x your sales and grow your revenue streams to create a sustainable business that makes you money in months and not years? The doors are opening to our signature program, Multi-Stream Machine, this week.
And Multi-Stream Machine is for you if you make, manufacture, or source physical products and you're ready to add new revenue streams to 2x to 4x your monthly sales. Do you want to add more platforms, more sales, and more profit to your business?
Also, let me ask you, are you wearing all the hats by doing everything or almost everything in your business? And you realize that you are the bottleneck. Do you want to get out of your own way and fast track your growth?
Do you sell on 1 or 2 sales channels? And if those got knocked out from under you, your business would come to a screeching halt. You want to ensure your business is stable no matter what happens.
And let me ask this. Do you feel stuck trying to grow your social media presence? You know you could make more sales if only more people knew your business existed.
Discover the turnkey system that takes you from sales trickling in to a stable and growing business that can not only support itself, but also contribute to your income.
So reminder, doors are opening this week from Multi-Stream Machine, and it's for a limited time. Head to multistreammachine.com to learn more, get on that wait list, and we can build your product-based business together. All right. So the next organic marketing tip that's working right now, and actually I saw a lot of you post this, so I love it, and it reaffirms that this is working, because a lot of people are writing, we asked what's working for you right now, and a lot of people on Facebook said that it's collaborations. Collaborations are working for them.
Right. Mindy of Mama, what am I? For Mama Shop. What's her
Made
business
for Mamas?
name? Made for Mama. Oh my God. Literally, my brain has not been working this morning. I Voxered Jacqueline and it was like, my brain is not working, but at least I have a full face of makeup on. So that's like the standard right now that I'm going for. Okay. So Mindy of Made for Mama Shop said this very thing, that collaborations have been working. So she kind of plucked it right out of her heads when we were talking about it this morning. And it's true. A very organic way that's happening right now is for you to collaborate with other small businesses, because people have been in their houses and they're just more willing. They're more willing now than they've ever been willing before to collaborate with each other. People are putting themselves out there more. People are willing to bring other people into their audiences. It's like this perfect storm in a way that's one of the silver linings of 2020, is that it really made you pursue connections if that's what you wanted.
Yeah, agreed. So collaborations is another organic way to do this. And this can be business to business. So it could be with businesses at your level, smaller businesses, bigger businesses, collaborations with influencers. Basically, it's the idea of collaborating with others. Collaborations with as a pop-up shop and retail shops, collaborations with events, if those are happening. So many things. And Minna and I have really leaned into that this year as well. I mean, it's mind-blowing. We have some humongous podcast episodes that we're recording this week with really big people that maybe had the pandemic not happened, had people not slowed down, maybe we wouldn't have had the opportunity to catch up with them and be able to get them on the podcast. There's, we've done things with Bulletin, Shopify, CrateJoy, all these big places. And we were able to have Jamie Kern Lima on the podcast. There's really big things because people are home and they're promoting and they're promoting in a different way. Jamie Kern Lima might have been on the road doing Good Morning America and the Today Show, right? Maybe she wouldn't be sitting at her house being able to do all the podcasts. So I want you to think about that for yourself. I saw some posts here that those of you there's a lot of our multi-stream machine students that actually have formed smaller groups within a multi-stream machine and they collaborate with each other. So when there's holidays, they do giveaways together, they get in front of each other's audiences, they do bundles together. And so that's something for all of you to consider. Who is out there right now that you can team up with to try and get some more momentum from a marketing standpoint?
Right. And the other thing that we've really been seeing is this collaborations of online and offline. So meaning when you're in online business, it's almost like the internet opened up for everybody. Like everybody who was not online before was forced to get online. And then now that the world is opening up again, it's the collaborations that are happening might be like a brick and mortar with an online store. Or online shop. So an online shop, now people have adopted a way of life where it's like, oh, I can still do shopping online and I can still do shopping locally. They've adopted this way of life because we had to all get online. And now it's like, oh, wow, there's all these e-commerce small business shops and I can collaborate with somebody locally. So it's been really cool to see how creative everybody's been getting, how scrappy everybody's been getting. And that really is true organic traffic right there, is collaborating, getting in front of people's audiences and doing it in an unpaid way, but really just sharing word of mouth.
We call it OPP, other people's audiences. OPP.
Yeah, OPP. We usually say that for
platforms.
other people's platforms, which is true because their platform is their audience, whatever it is, their foot traffic.
So whether you're OPP down with OPP or OPA, like you're throwing plates, the idea here though is that your collaboration, right? Because if we all stayed in our homes, like imagine this year, if you just stayed home, didn't talk to anyone, didn't show your face anywhere, did nothing with this year, where you would be versus all of you that have done something that you pushed outside of your comfort zone on. And most likely we got onto social media, right? Most likely we called up a store and we were like, hey, do you want this stuff? Or we got onto like a platform like Bulletin, for example, for wholesale. Something like that you pushed outside of your space. And that's the idea with collaborations. It's pushing outside of your space and the people who know and getting out there. And Sabria says OPP has made a big difference for eyes on my business recently. Amazing. So think about that when whether you're down with OPP or you're throwing plates and saying, Opa!
One thing though, I want to say, make sure that any collaboration, this is the collaboration. A collaboration should be win-win. I think last week I said a compromise should be lose-lose, right? Well, a collaboration should be win-win. So make sure that is always the case for all of it. Okay. So
I
what's
like how you really
three?
Put these things together for us. Okay. So number 3, my friends, for organic marketing tips that are working right now is email. And we're going to take it even a step further in email. And we're going to say it's that post-purchase email. So how many of you have an email list and email people? And I'd love to know, if you want to drop it in the comments, how many times a month you actually email people. Now, what we're talking about here is that, yes, there's list building, right? You should always be list building no matter what platform you're selling on, which means getting people's email addresses in person or online. You should be sending emails, and that's a whole other conversation. We talk about that in Multi-Stream Machine. We have a course for emails, all the things we really believe in emails.
Yeah, I feel like we're always talking about emails.
Because if you're not hearing us say it, you need to be sending emails and you need to be list building. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that. But then the part that people sometimes forget about is that it takes a lot of effort to gain a new audience, right? Like to acquire customers is a lot of effort. It costs a lot of money. All these marketing ideas is to gain a new customer. But what so many of you miss out on is that you have customers that have bought from you and they are willing to buy from you again. And a lot of that comes through the way that you can that first step to getting them to come back is that post purchase email, which means I've made a purchase with you and you have sent me some sort of email on the follow up. Now, it could be the review email, but more so what ends up happening is those emails that come on the follow up are like, hey, you bought this, you may also like this. It could be a cross sale. It could be an upsell. It could be like, you bought these earrings. Have you seen these necklaces that we have? Or Sarah Cornwell has an amazing one that she does. She sells jewelry and it's like, as you're waiting for your product to come, it says, there's an email that's like, here's some tips on cleaning your jewelry. We also sell this jewelry cleaner kit in case you need it, but here are some tips. So it feels like a helpful email. And then when they get their jewelry, there's another email that goes out that's like, you probably look beautiful in that. Would you like to also buy this necklace, right? That matches the earrings that you bought. So think about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a good organic piece of marketing because emails they hold a lot of weight. Imagine needing to get a hold of somebody and thinking, how will I get a hold of that person? Well, the exchange is their email, right? And that it is a big deal. When somebody gives you their email, it would have normally cost you $20 to $50 finding them on Facebook or getting them at a trade show or something, right? You need to get their email so it feels like you walked away with something and you can reach out to them when you want to, right? And even if they don't open up your emails, they still see that there's an email from you and it keeps you top of mind. So no matter what, email is always a good thing. And constantly building that is such an important lever that you should always have in your business.
Absolutely. So don't be afraid of the unsubscribe. If they unsubscribe, they unsubscribe, but they're going to see you in other places, right? They might be following you on social, that kind of thing. But the idea here is that, yes, you send out the emails. It looks like some of you send them 2 times a month. Some send them 3 times a month, 4 to 8 times. It depends on who you are and what you send and what your list looks like. But the idea is that don't forget about the people who've already bought from you. They're more likely to buy from you again, and you do not need to spend more money in acquiring them. And some of you are like, because again, we were talking about organic marketing tips here, right? The paid marketing, the things that would acquire them are if you're doing ads, if you're boosting a post, if you're paying for a booth to go somewhere, you can consider that marketing, right? Like you can say like, I'm paying $500 for this booth and then divide it up by how many emails you get and how many sales you get. And you can actually quantify and say like, how much did this cost? Like, how much did these emails cost me? How much did it cost to get this? So that's what we want you to all just consider and think about when you're thinking about emails and sales, that it's easier to acquire customers or to have a customer come back and purchase again than it is to find a new customer.
Yes.
Is that helpful?
Agreed. Yeah. So let's run through those really quickly. We said social media, what's working organically right now that we see as reels. Collaborations was number 2. What we're seeing working right now is basically making friends and online and offline. Third was emails. What we're seeing working now is the post-purchase, like what Jacqueline was talking about. And basically if somebody's bought from you to get them to buy from you again. So those were the 3 things. I do think a good bonus one, if we're going to throw in a bonus one, is SEO, which is search engine optimization. That's a really good organic way. That's a long-term play that you can get organic traffic. Now, does it work every time? Not every time, but it's worth the time to put into it to see if it does work.
Yep. SEO, search engine optimization, right? It's a longer play. It's kind of like Pinterest. Some of you, if you get on Pinterest, it's a longer play because Pinterest is not something that rolls quickly. It's a search platform. And then the same thing with SEO, right? It's searchability. It's kind of like the longer you can be there and Google can crawl your website, then it's almost like a backdoor in. And we teach, we have an entire section on this in Multi-Stream Machine that we teach. I love it. When I was teaching it, I was told Minna, I was like, I think I want to be an SEO expert.
Yeah, it is fun. I think that SEO, search engine optimization, it feels like the opposite of social media. Social media is like short, front facing, engage,
immediate returns,
immediate return,
you and
right size, all those things. And the search engine optimization is long term. People can find you later again because things don't live on social media, right? Not really. And for search engine optimization, people are searching. It could be years from now. And then it's a backdoor in and it's like long lasting versus short, so they feel very much opposite of each other.
Diana just said SEO is like fishing. And what's funny is I had a whole conversation yesterday with Minna about what I like in
Mhm.
business, like parts that I like. And I was like, it's like fishing. It's like a game. Like for me, I think, and maybe that's why I like SEO, I really like the puzzle of business. Like, okay, here's the problem. How do I figure this out? Like, what do I need to work and tinker with to have the results that I want?
Mhm.
And I think that might be why I'm so into SEO too. It is long term. I've had
Mhm.
my other business, Designer Consulting Co-op, since 2007. I do absolutely nothing. I've never done paid marketing. I do nothing anymore for that. And I still get new client inquiries all the time because of the SEO that I built. And it is amazing and fascinating and continuing to update that SEO. So we definitely teach that in Multi-Stream Machine, but it's a really fun and interesting way of, it's almost passive, right? It's passive marketing.
Mhm.
You've done
Yeah.
it, you do it, and then you let it live. And that's what we teach in the course, for example, because we know none of you are going to be bloggers. Like we're not asking you to be bloggers, but we're asking you to build some sort of SEO content that then will bring people in the back door to discover your business.
Yeah, that's really why I do like email and SEO is because it feels substantial. When you get an email, it feels like it matters. When you do SEO, it feels like it matters even now and later on. Whereas like social media feels a little bit fleeting, but it's quicker and you rise faster, it's a little bit more fast paced. And so it really is all those put together are, organic ways that you could market to different customers. And as a small business, you don't have to pay for anything. It's literally you just put your actions into it. You're paying kind of in time, I suppose, but you're testing anyways and gaining new audiences.
All right. Well, there's your organic marketing tips for the morning. Thank you for being here this morning and listening to it on Bosses and Breakfast. Thank you for being here and listening all the way through the Product Boss podcast. If you love our show and it has helped you in any way in your business, would you mind doing 2 things for us? Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode and leave us a review. Reviews help other product entrepreneurs know that this is the place to be to grow their businesses and realize that they're not alone. And we know that you all know that a 5-star and honest review helps you sell more products to more people. So you know that your reviews help us reach more listeners around the world. Remember, what we give is what we receive, and we are all about helping each other in the Product Boss community. We are all in this together. We would be so appreciative of you if you could take the time right now to subscribe, leave a review, and even share this episode on social or someone you know so we can impact more lives. And remember, subscribing means that you will get notified each time we release a new episode so you never miss a thing. You have helped us grow and climb into the top 10 of all marketing podcasts, and together we can keep climbing. Thank you, friends. And remember, there is room at the top for all of us.